Alrighty. Welcome to the 8th episode of the Potato Aim podcast. My name is Odin's Beard 43. You can follow me on Twitch at Odin's Beard 43, along with Twitter and Instagram. All of those will be Odin's Beard 43.
What is up, everybody? I am Raven F. You can find me on twitch.tv at Raven F. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter. Unfortunately, still at RavenF0_O, because apparently something happened with my Instagram account and there's already a Raven F. Maybe I created it years ago and don't remember it. I don't know. And Twitter will not let me change it anymore. Maybe somebody has Raven F as well. I don't freaking know anymore. But yes, it is still 0_O. So I apologize for last week's episode when I said you can now find me at Raven F. Yeah, I'm sad. I know.
Fail!
I
You're gonna
know.
make me follow that shit up? Jesus, man. Well,
Yeah, usually we
I'm
just
a-
let you finish with the "you're chained, please help me."
Well, insert snappy intro there. I'm Bumpy Rug, your friendly neighborhood, Twitch streamer. Apparently, that's all I can come up with on the spot. Or a figment of your imagination. I'm not even technically real or here now. But you can follow me on twitch.tv/BumpyRug and Instagram at BumpyRug and Twitter at RugBumpy because I still haven't changed that.
And down in the basement, the dungeon.
It's so cold down here.
Oh, Jesus.
I was talking about our special guest.
Well, I'm Angry Pig. You can catch me on YouTube at Angry Pig XX or Twitch, which is also Angry Pig XX, as well as Steam. I don't have a Twitter or Instagram or Facebook set up for it yet, but it's in the making as long as they shop, which is a mess right now. Shit everywhere.
Slacker.
Yeah.
One of a
Jesus.
million things to do in the new house.
Excuses is all I'm hearing. Excuses.
It's not even his house. He's literally living in somebody's basement. They don't even know he's there. He's been there for months.
Squatters'
So-
rights.
So
Squatters'
cold.
rights. There you go. Squatters' rights.
Dude, I have to wear a sweatshirt and sweatpants in my basement at all times because it's a solid like 50, 60 degrees.
It's a lad.
Oh my god. All right. Before we get going, we are gonna plug our two new podcasts that are both gonna be being recorded this week. Thursday, myself and our friends Izzy and Shane are gonna be starting the Crimson Mask podcast, which will be a wrestling podcast. We'll be covering WWE, AEW once that gets going a little bit more, which I know there's some news on that already. And we'll be getting into a bunch of indie stuff, having some of our indie wrestlers join us every now and then, and we'll see how that goes. I know we have quite a few people already asking to get on the podcast right now, so it should be pretty much a pretty good time and a lot of fun.
Also this week, keep an eye out for Off Tackle. We'll be discussing all things NFL, talking about off-season moves, talking about our favorite teams, different divisions. I, myself, Raven F, will be covering the AFC conference, and Odin's Beard will be covering the NFC conference. I'm not sure exactly how we're going to try to break it down yet. I, myself, will not try to be too much of a homer, as I am a diehard Ravens fan. But I might surprise you on who I think is going to win the the AFC North. So stay tuned for that.
Go
also,
Bears!
Oh, fucking Christ. Also, I just got to say really quick, it is great to be back home. Odin's Beard and I were out at Rock USA in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. If you don't know anything about it, if you're into rock and metal music, check out Rock USA 2019, camping and everything. It was a fucking blast. It was crazy. It was intense, but it was amazing. If you don't know anything about music festivals, but you like rock or metal, definitely check them out. They are a ton of fun.
I like how you said it was intense, even though you already said you guys were camping. By the way, you guys should probably ask Chad who his favorite NFL team is.
Patriots.
Oh, for fuck. Get off this fucking podcast. Get the fuck out of here. Nope. Done. No.
Already
Hi.
turned the
I'm
kid into a Patriots fan.
calling your joke, not chat. I'm.
What do you expect, man?
So,
But also, real quick, if you see some peeling or some redness or some roughness to mine and Ravenous voices, the concert is 100% the reason why.
yeah.
Why would your voices be peeling? That makes no sense.
Dude,
Then
the
you
way-
haven't been to enough metal festivals.
The way we were screaming and singing along and everything. I will say, all right, so for anybody that's I will say for anybody that's a music fan, like a rock fan, everybody knows Linkin Park, right? Chester, that
Who's that?
killed himself.
I'm gonna come over and slap your fucking
I know, right?
ass.
So
Keep it
like
rolling.
on like a serious note, Saturday before Disturbed came on as a headliner, they were playing "In the End" by Linkin Park over the
Oh, that's
loudspeakers and
dope.
everything.
That'd be
So
awesome.
everybody in our section, like once the song came on, everybody was singing. Every single fucking person. I mean, hundreds to thousands of people were singing along with it. The music cut out. We think they did it on purpose just to kind of see how many people were going along with it. But even once the actual music playing over the loudspeakers cut off, everybody still kept going on with the song, did not miss a single word, did not miss a beat with it. And then they kicked back up on the loudspeakers and it was still going smoothly. Like, it was such a fantastic moment for anybody that's a big fan of Linkin Park, anybody that knows or has dealt with anything with suicide and everything, which I know all of us here have. It was a fantastic moment honoring somebody that has taken their own life for suicide. So it was just a beautiful thing overall. I gotta give props to everybody that was there. I know not many of them, if any of them, will be watching this, but it was just something that I felt this weekend that was fucking amazing, and I can't thank people enough for that moment.
And that
That's
day,
dope, man.
and Saturday was the 2-year anniversary
Yes.
of his passing, and I didn't know that at the time. And when
Mhm.
Disturbed came out, they actually brought it up and everything, and that just made that moment even more emotional. Really, like
It's already been 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
it was intense, like he said, with everything. But
Yeah,
That-
camping. You guys are camping. We got it.
Intense. Get it?
hey, just to be fair, I slept in the car 2 nights.
We slept in the car one
Hey.
night because of the storms that had kicked up, man. That was
So you
brutal.
guys didn't get blown away.
I'm still here. Dude, my last video that I shared was me standing out in the fucking wind and shit, smoking a cigar and drinking a beer, and Odin's beard behind me, fucking going crazy in the wind.
I was sitting there watching your guys' like news feeds and stuff. I'm like, man, I really hope they don't die in that because I'm not picking this up by myself.
Dude, no joke. Last night I was watching your the videos of like the sirens going off and stuff.
Yeah.
And by the time I actually like went to bed and got into like a deep sleep, I had dreams about tornadoes all night till I woke up, dude.
So
It was
they,
fucking trippy.
There
They
were
can't-
some north of us.
they came out like on stage before 9 Point and were like, "You guys are fucking crazy. All the tornadoes, all the weather, the heat, this, that, the other couldn't stop you." And he goes, "All the fucking tornadoes are around." Apparently, we didn't know this, but there was a bunch of fucking tornadoes around us, north, south, east, and west of us. Like, it just happened to miss us. Like,
I-
it was, we were surrounded. Like, most of us didn't know. Apparently, Odin's beard did. 'Cause
There was a
Whatever.
couple older ladies, like middle-aged ladies, behind us, and they were talking about how they were texting their daughters, and they were
oh yeah,
they were trying to figure out, like, making sure everyone was okay and everything.
They're
But-
texting their
okay.
family. Oh my god, I love you. I might not make it home.
yeah. When the fuck?
There's
When
a
the
worse
fuck
way to-
did
there's
like?
worse ways to go out for me? I mean,
When the fuck did In This Moment, Breaking Benjamin, and all these other bands become bands that like 40, 50, 60-year-old people were all into? Like, that was the majority of the crowd for some of these bands, man. It was crazy.
You're just
It,
getting
like,
old. I think that's
it
what
was-
it is.
Shut up.
Oh, feels bad. Feels bad.
all right.
Anyway, so
Let's get back on track. So this is gonna be the third week that we've done this, I believe, where we talk about what's going on in gaming. I know I have something I want to talk about. Let's lead off with Raven F, since he got so excited that he sent us a link earlier.
oh yes, so the Call of Duty.
What the- We
weapon-
He
literally
doesn't
just
even
talked about-
remember.
20 minutes ago before my Skype crashed.
He doesn't even remember. He's like, wait, what?
no,
I gotta go through my text now.
no, we all talked about a few different things like the Overwatch stuff or whatever. So yes, the Call of Duty weapon customization. We talked about it on a previous episode that they were supposed to be bringing like a gunsmithing thing, and we were talking about specifically how Ghost Recon did it in one of their titles, where you break down the gun, you got your stocks, your grips, your trigger housing, your triggers, you got your fucking firing pins, you like there's so much different shit. So now, like, there was a little teaser that came out, and if anybody has not checked it out, go check out I Play COD on Facebook. There was a teaser trailer that's about 35 seconds long, I believe, that just shows, it looked like an M4. I didn't really get a good look at it. I was too busy paying attention to exactly what was changing on it. But they were changing out the stocks. I saw like 4 or 5 different styles of stocks on it. I saw many different style rails, like actually changing the rails. Not just the barrel, but the actual rails were changing. The sights, the optics, whatever you want to fucking call them. Your grips, your magazines, everything about the gun was changing. Adding the grenade launcher. Holy shit, rocket launcher, underbarrel rocket launcher would be fucking amazing.
I bet they got
they
those
probably
at
got 'em.
Area
I'm
51.
pretty sure they
The underbarrel shotguns, the grenade launchers, which I know a lot of people are already crying and bitching about the grenade launchers coming back. Get the fuck over. I can't wait to spawn tube some fucking bitches on hardcore search and destroy and get
They're
some.
in
beats and
every
just-
COD.
Yeah.
I know it. I mean, I hate them. Like, if they're all you rely on, fuck you. But I was that troll back in Modern Warfare 2. I would take out an entire team
You're
on
still the
Warfare
fucking
Destroy.
troll.
Some days, okay. Anyway, but yeah, so I am fully stoked for it, and keep a lookout because next Thursday, from when this airs, August 1st, they are doing the full multiplayer reveal. If you have not seen anything, go on to YouTube, go to Twitch, look up TP, Courage JD. I can't remember the other two, and I feel like a fucking asshole for that. But check out the Call of Duty Modern Warfare gunfight game mode, and you'll be able to watch about an hour and 25 minutes, hour and a half of gameplay featuring the new gunfight mode, and you'll get to see some raw gameplay in action, and it's fucking phenomenal. I can't wait. I'm getting more and more excited, and I might have to change my pants soon if I keep talking about it. So
You're not even wearing pants. Don't lie.
I'm not. There's a reason why it's always shoulder up. You know, what can I say?
I will say I did see like a sneak peek of the AK gameplay. Somebody was playing around of it and they showed the AK. It doesn't look too bad. I'm not a fan of AK iron sights, but look decent. More new guns. So
Well,
I
yeah.
don't know a ton about like the differences. Pretty much when I change like stocks and everything on guns, it's just okay, this thing brings my accuracy up, this thing brings my whatever up. Like that's what I usually go for, except for sights. I go with which sight is more comfortable for me.
Yeah.
But still, like if they have say like 10 to 15 different things for each gun, for each different customization option, like there's going to be different things that I'm going to be like, okay, this one brings my accuracy up, but this goes down, and then like I'll be able to even then I have more options not knowing
Right.
the differences between each thing, and that makes me psyched about it.
You see, one of the things that I'm hoping with the different style stocks, because I was looking at it, I was watching it, like I kind of freezed it. I freezed it. Holy shit! I froze it. I paused at different areas, and I was noticing the different shape and the different style of stocks and everything. I'm like, so I wonder if they're gonna have a recoil pattern similar to Rainbow Six. You know, where some stocks might rest higher on the shoulder, some stocks might rest lower on the shoulder, whatever. Are different stocks going to impact the recoil? So it's going to go farther up? Is it going to go at an angle? Is it going to be more steady? What exactly is it going to do? If you pair it with the grip, how's that going to impact it? Like, I can't fucking wait to see more about this game. I know. I apologize.
I'll wipe some of that drool off your chin there, big guy. Yeah, no, it's going to be interesting because I even saw that in that video because I watched it like I think an hour ago for the first time. One of the stocks that you could have, you could just have a straight buffer tube, like no stock on there. So I'm assuming that means like it's going to change, like you said, the recoil pattern to where it might give you like more of a hip fire buff or whatever. And I'm curious to see because in every COD you have, each attachment you put on, it takes up like an inventory slot. So I'm wondering if they're just going to make the gunsmith its own thing to where it's like, hey, you get 5 specific inventory slots for your weapon, not 5 for your whole character, including like your perks and your lethal grenades, your tactical grenades, stuff like that, which would be pretty cool because with all the customization they're putting in the workshop for it, or the gunsmith for it, you'd think they'd almost have to give you extra slots.
Yeah. So from what I saw, they're doing completely away with the pick 10 system. Like that
nice.
pick 9, pick 10 system where you had like your perks and your attachments, your guns and all that other shit like Black Ops 4 and everything. That's gone. It is completely gone. So what it looks like is you can customize your entire
Odin
gun.
found Jesus.
Oh,
It looks like it.
The perks were cool and everything, but they just got so fucking annoying after a while to me.
Yeah.
Well, like, you're still gonna have your perks, but like that being part of the perk or the pick 10 system doesn't look like it's that way anymore because they're so focused on everything else. Like it looks like everything else about the gun is customizable, but like you can't put a specific rail or a specific barrel type with the undermounted grenade launcher or shotgun. You know, there's going to be limitations on what you can put together, but you have so many different combinations of guns. Like for me, for Call of Duty, I would always have like my 10 classes. I would have like maybe 2 different variants of different guns because I would want a suppressor on one and then a red dot on one and then maybe one combined, or, you know, one combined with and then one just by itself, or whatever the case might be. But this one looks like you can customize everything about it until you get to that point where the two attachments conflict with one another. You know, time will tell.
So
last thing I'll kind of say. Oh, I'm sorry, Jay. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say. So YouTube, Juggernaut, Last Stand, every class.
Oh God.
One man army, so you can change.
One-man
What
army.
was that perk? Was it one man army that you could change out your like class in the middle of a
Yes.
match?
Yeah.
Modern Warfare 2, one man army. Yes.
I would. Speaking of Modern Warfare 2, last thing I'll say about it, and we can move on. Is that I hope they bring back the perk leveling system to where if you had like bling and you used it enough, you got bling 2, and it gave you a little bit more with that perk to where instead of 1 extra attachment, you get 2 extra attachments per gun. That would be a cool thing to see come back. Really enjoyed Modern Warfare 2.
That I did like about the perks is when you could level it up. That part made sense to me. We will have to see what everything is, because I'm sure they still are kind of holding some things in their back pocket.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna wait until it gets closer.
I'm just gonna say after next week's gameplay premiere for the entire Modern Warfare multiplayer, I hope you guys are ready to do an entire episode based around Modern Warfare.
Definitely.
Because I'm going to be all over that fucking thing, and you are going to have to keep me under control. I can tell you that right now. Like, you're going to have to rein me in better than what you're doing right now.
We're going to have to move the camera up about another 4 inches so it doesn't get this little freaking thing down at the bottom of the screen.
His fiance's like got a leash on him, just like, down, boy, down, stop, calm down.
You should see the way she's sitting over here next to me looking at me right now.
Hey,
like,
they have a muzzle for the dog. We'll just put it on him.
She's just got a spray bottle, just comes off to the side of the camera and squirts him every time he starts talking about it.
Don't give her any ideas, please.
Oh, we are definitely going to make that a thing.
God.
So, with the thing that I wanted to talk about, the Fortnite World Cup is this weekend. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for it. I was watching a lot of the qualifiers and I just kind of put them on, mess around, get on my computer or get on my phone and just kind of leave that on background noise. I'm really excited to see the best in the world. So watching all these 12 to 15-year-old kids play against the couple 20-somethings. But the World Cup final starts on the 26th. It goes through the 28th. They have duos and solos. I don't remember the exact date, but I believe in like tomorrow or the day before they have a trios tournament going on, which is going to be pretty sweet because I think that's something they probably should have done. But just some people they have in. I know I saw TL72, which is 72 hours, and Vivid are in NAEs for duos. A couple NRG guys, Ghost, TSM. For solos, I know 100 Thieves Cease got in, and Tfue got in. But it's just... I got on and played for the first time since I played a couple games Wednesday before we left. Even that week off, I, for one, couldn't aim for shit, but so much has changed. I know me and Raven F watched the event happen with the freaking giant robot fighting the monster.
It was dope.
That was nuts, dude.
And in our defense, for anybody that looks at us and like, holy shit, you guys are fucking odd or whatever else you want to say about us. We were stuck in a fucking rainstorm. We were stuck in a fucking vehicle because of the rain and the wind, like 80-mile-an-hour gusts of rain, tornadoes going off around us, heavy rain, like all this other shit going on. So we weren't sitting there because we wanted to just to watch the event. Like we didn't have much of a choice.
We already had a plan. We were gonna do it anyway. Don't let them fool you.
We were sitting in a car eating chicken wings out of a cooler that my poor fiance got stuck out in the storm caught into while we picked up a couple of friends. And we had nothing better to do than to eat chicken wings that were on the grill because our poor burgers got blown off of the table on the grill and went everywhere in our campsite. So
So
yeah,
there's
but
5 of us watching my tiny ass phone, watching this event going down. It was awesome, but everything changed so much since then. I know when I got on, they have a new sniper coming into the game that helps with the storm. That could drop. It says coming soon. I don't know if that means next week after World Cup, but it could come before World Cup. I know they just brought in 2 new tac. They finally brought in purple and gold tac shotguns. I got them a couple times tonight when I streamed, and I never thought I'd get this much into Fortnite, but I got sucked into that black hole real bad, and it's a lot of fun, and everything changes so much, and I want to see these guys that are a million times better at me than the game play and just go ham on each other. It's going to be a really fun time.
Austin, I don't know what it is, but for some reason, Dobby always feels the need to take a bath when we start recording our podcast.
He's
Every
a
single
naked cat.
time.
He always bathes.
Every single time, you just see Dobby's head just poke up and just start nap.
Hey, he was licking his paw.
So
when I turned around, he was just licking his paw.
He was getting into it.
God. So just real quick, my thing for Fortnite for the World Cup this week, I don't think it's going to be any major names that win everything. Like,
oh no,
I think it might be like the duos. It might be, but I think some random person that nobody really knows about is going to come up and win the solo.
Well, like duos. Who was the one duo? They had Arkham and Bloom Falconer. Those two got 122 points in their qualifying to qualify. That was the most of any of the duos. And their points, they came off placements and eliminations and shit.
Right.
But
so
I don't know who the fuck those guys are. There's guys that are playing for TSM, for 100 Thieves, for these major organizations that they qualified. I'm still probably going to pick these other guys, even though, like, even in singles, I don't think I love watching Biz play. Tfue, he's awesome to watch when he's to watch actually good gaming. It's not as entertaining. That's why I watch Tim and stuff. But there's these guys that come out of nowhere that just absolutely wrecked guys older than them, 10 years older than them, and are cranking 90s and just
90s,
and just stomping at kids, dude. It's gonna be a fun thing to watch and see, because how much better people are now. And like you guys know, I've been playing this game for 4 or 5 months now. 4 months. I've gotten better, but like I've watched videos from back in season 1, season 2. They weren't doing near as much shit with builds and making sure and edits and that kind of stuff. Like, there's gonna be something innovative that comes out this week. I guarantee it.
I mean, you also got to remember back in season 1, season 2, we didn't have the Builder Pro, so you had to go to whatever you wanted to select, hit your circle or whatever you selected for your changing what you have, whether it's a weapon or your building materials, and then like hit R1, L1, R trigger, L trigger, whatever the hell you had selected. Like you had to cycle through everything and then keep going back and forth. Like turbo building wasn't a thing like it is now, where you can just hold the button, spin around, and build. Builder Pro wasn't a thing. So it's come a long way. But yeah, I agree. Like people would put up maybe a wall and a ramp back in season 1 or season 2. Like there was nothing to it. Now the skill gap honestly has gone from so minimal to like fucking unfathomable in just a couple of years, that it's mind blowing to see where these top ranked guys are in comparison.
And being an Xbox gamer, I'm really hoping that Aiden does really well because shut up. You should hope Aiden does well too. He started on Xbox. He's a controller gamer.
Oh yeah, no,
for
absolutely.
a controller gamer to do well in this would be a really big step for controller guys.
It would be.
Bumpy, did you have anything else with gaming that you wanted to hit?
Yeah, just 2 kind of smaller things. The one everybody's gonna roll their eyes at, but Iron Banner comes out tomorrow. Roll your eyes. I don't care. I'm still a D2 fanboy. I don't give a shit.
He fucking streamed it earlier.
I did, and I don't regret that. I grinded my life away for Bad Juju when it was announced for D2. Okay, I don't want to hear it. I'm invested. Let me live my life. Let me put the needle back in my arm for a minute. So the other thing, which is actually more relevant, there was a teaser kind of story thing for the new Hero 31 coming out in Overwatch Sigma. They showed, it was like at the very end of the origin story for him, they show his player model. He looks just like a giant bulky Reinhardt without a helmet, a fucking hammer, and but he's holding two like cubes that have miniature black holes in them. I'm really interested to see what his abilities are, because they're kind of tilting towards throwing holograms of your teammates out around the area. So if you have a Reaper that's got like the Hellfire skin, I think you're going to have the ability to like throw out a hologram of that Reaper in a corridor around a corner. So if the team turns around, they're going to be hesitant to be like, oh shit, there's a Reaper there. Our Winston's not going to push that because he's going to get smoked. Well, then they run through and he's not there. It's kind of up to speculation. If you look on his left hand too, he's got kind of a Doomfist gauntlet thing going on to where it looks like there could be 5 shots or like a shield put up. I think he's going to be a tank character, but they really haven't released a whole lot of information. But with his new character model being out, he's probably going to hit PTR pretty soon.
Mm-hmm. Remember with God damn it, what the hell was this? The last one's name. The last guy that they sent out.
Baptiste?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you, Baptiste. He came out approximately a month after they announced him, so you would think they'll kind of stick with a similar timeline.
Yeah, they do a good job of like releasing little tidbits here and there of like the hero coming out. Like with Hammond, they showed like a brick wall, and then the next week you saw like him actually rolling by real quick, and then there was like a bunch of like teasers and stuff that they put out. They do a pretty good job of like putting a breadcrumb trail of, hints along the way.
They did a great job with Symmetra in that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That was phenomenal, and the way you're talking about that kind of gets me a little bit more excited for it, because that will break up the let's just load up on tanks in this fucking choke point meta that has been going on forever. And go ahead.
I could even see. Well, I was just gonna say I could even see him like thinking about it now. He could have a main attack like Zenny with those little miniature black holes and cubes. He could just like throw them like Zenny, or like, I don't know. His ult could be like Zarya's, except it damages you for quite a bit while you're stuck in the black hole. I don't know.
It would be interesting to see what his abilities are. I know we got on and played Lucio Ball, which is that still out? That's out for a couple.
It's going to be out for a while. Yeah.
That was the most fun I've had playing Overwatch since back in the day when you, me, and Angry Pig up there played it non-stop, literally on a
24/7.
It was literally a 3 hours a day daily basis game, and I started not having fun with it after I took some time off, and it's just.
What's crazy to me is you look at the meta back then, there was like no meta at all. It was just pick a character that you're good with and go with it. Now you got so many build metas. Yeah, we didn't know what we were doing. We were just getting in there and killing people. Who cares? But that's all I really had. Chad, I don't know if you had anything for gaming
Upcoming
knowledge
games.
or information. Yeah.
Well, things I'm excited to see are like some of the Ubisoft games, like Beyond Good and Evil 2, Skull and Bones. But the thing with like Ubisoft is they put out like fantastic, amazing looking cinematic trailers, and then the games end up flopping, unfortunately. I'm excited to see new stuff come out on the Cyberpunk 2077. Ever since like the original teaser video where they had like the robotic police with like the gun to the chick's head that was like kneeling in the center of the road with like the swords coming out of her arms. That's probably like my number one game that I'm pumped for right now to come out, because just what they had like yeah, they had like a 50, like probably like a 50-minute video like for gameplay on it so far, where they actually like show like the introduction, and you get to like like the walkthrough of you upgrade your eyes was like the major component to start off like their little teaser, and then it shows like the open world and how big the world is. So I'm hoping the world within the game is actually like huge, where you can go out and explore, and not like something where it's like you're guided along a path and like the world around you seems huge, but you can't do anything with it. And then like beyond like going through all those stages, then you get to like meet they show some like fighting capabilities where they're in a room and they do a little walkthrough, and then you come out and then you meet like the antagonist, like the organization. And then within the newer releases of their teasers in their E3 event, they show like Keanu Reeves in it.
Mhm.
So I'm looking forward to the final release, and hopefully it's all the talk and all the stuff they've been putting out about it really shows.
I hope that I can cyber augmentate my eyebrows to get little windshield wipers for when it rains, so I can just like clear my vision. It's the only thing I want in that game.
Jeez.
To go along with that really quick, they did announce that Cyberpunk 2077 has a hardcore difficulty that's going to be similar to God of War, to where it turns off your UI, so you won't have any UI whatsoever. So I think that'll be kind of awesome. I still haven't played God of War yet to really see how that feels, but I've been told that it's just phenomenal to play, and it's so much more immersive.
I'll get you that copy soon. Sorry,
Yeah.
again.
It's all good. So if nobody else has anything real quick, I just want to run through a quick like 30-second blast of some of the announcements and some of the big news.
Blast me, daddy.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna have to come up with a better term for that, dude. Like,
I just want to take 30 seconds to marinate everybody in my knowledge.
Jesus
that's
Christ.
better than I want to blast you.
I know, right?
Baste it.
So just really quick, Overwatch has made their changes with the role queue. So now you would role queue as 2 ADS, 2 tanks, and 2 support, which is going to be a big deal to me anyway. I've already heard that it's creating problems, but it'll work itself out, I'm sure. They said that it's currently only in the public test realm, though, with plans for it to roll out soon. PUBG is updating or remastering its first map. I don't really know what all that's about. I don't really know how they're going to remaster it, but yeah, they're remastering the first map. Erangel, however the fuck you pronounce it.
They're just gonna have a lot of.
Thing.
They're gonna have a lot of Dr. Disrespect bots around.
The
Yeah, you
frying pans are gonna look slicker.
You think since like the maps are so huge, you're gonna add like new towns or they've something to like dead zones or something,
Yes.
because there's so many dead zones in that game.
Yeah, there really is, and I definitely could agree with you there. Target is offering 25% off PS4 and Xbox One games with in-store pickup.
Hashtag
let's
ad.
see.
Target
What
isn't out
else?
of business yet, like everything else is going.
I know it's
Hashtag ad.
amazing, right?
I mean, there's still
Uh,
Best Buy. I mean, outdated tech for 20% more than the new.
Oh, I know.
Hashtag
It's-
ad.
That's fine. Get us for that sponsorship. Thank you.
And then my last thing really quick is actually 2 things. One, PlayStation Classic is on sale for $20. So if you don't have your PlayStation Classic yet, you can find it for $20 at Best Buy and Target.
Speaking of Best Buy.
I don't know if anybody really wants it.
20% off, so it's regular price everywhere else.
Yes.
No, not 20% off. It's $20. $20.
Oh,
Also found
so
on
you're,
Amazon
you're paying
for
$10 more
$10.
than everywhere else.
Yeah. And then the last thing is, damn it, there could be 2 more, but anyway, a plane full of Southwest passengers got a free Switch and Mario Maker 2. What the hell did they fuck up to give everybody on
Jesus
board?
Christ.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know,
on
right?
that
They
flight.
were
They
in
had
free
to
fall for
almost have
5
killed
minutes.
them.
Yeah.
They
Right.
like had some bad turbulence, almost crashed. And we're like,
I know.
here's the Switch. Now shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
There's one
engine.
Nintendo dev is on that plane. He's like, I swear to God, if we make it through this, everybody on here's getting a Switch.
Jesus Christ.
And then and with the Switch, the last thing, the absolute last thing, they have confirmed a new Switch model is releasing that will have a longer battery life. As I mentioned on the last episode, that they had changed the patents and everything. Literally the next day, they announced a new Switch model.
Imagine
yeah.
if
There
they
we
had
go.
cords on each
Here's
of
an
the
accurate
Switch controllers.
demonstration of Neff playing with his new Switch Lite.
It will be. I'm not gonna lie.
It's just
God.
Samsung's technology from the Note explodes.
All right,
Okay.
so let's say we're gonna get back to the main topic of this podcast.
But wait, there's more features. It has the Apple Bend.
It fits so easily in your back pocket.
Yep.
So I see something behind Bumpy Rug that is what we are going to be talking about, and that is something I know all four of us have loved for quite a bit.
The
Yeah,
Destiny
Pickle
Spark.
Rick. Pickle
Yes.
Rick.
Destiny Spark.
Oh,
Or
hello.
D2 News.
We're
coming
going to
to
be
you.
talking about Pokemon.
Yay! And then it just dies.
Just my screen goes black.
This is you can hear people tuning off of the fucking video right now.
I love how fucking Chad claps. I really wish you had a clapper right then.
Oh, it would have been
The
awesome.
lights go off and shit.
Well, this
But,
light's still out, never fixed yet. But
What do you guys wrap it up boxes?
I know.
oh, Dave Chappelle, wrap it up.
I know we're all old enough to have been playing Gen 1.
I think
Absolutely.
all of us attached to
But
Gen 1,
the
which
true Pokemon game, Gen 1.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you're talking about like red, blue, and
Red,
green.
blue, and yeah.
Yeah.
I mean yellow. Red, blue, yellow.
fire,
No,
red,
red-
leaf, green, and we'll give it
Red,
to you,
blue, and
whatever.
green. Red, blue, and green came out before yellow.
Yellow
Okay.
came out like a
Uh,
year and a half later.
I was all about that blue life.
Actually, red and
I was-
green were the first released in Japan.
You were red?
I was red.
Blue.
What about you?
Blue.
Actually,
Team blue.
red, blue, and green, all three released in 1996 in
Actually-
Japan, followed by yellow in 1998.
Blue
So
wasn't
Oh,
released
okay.
until a
Boom.
year later.
No, they
19 I have
No,
it right
no,
here.
no, no.
Yeah,
Blue,
yeah.
Blue got
Blue-
released
blue-
after
blue.
red and green because it was an upgraded version of the two of them. The Western release was red and blue.
That's Western release. I just said released in Japan in 1996.
I know that, but blue didn't release with the other two.
Here in the U.S., it didn't.
No, in Japan it didn't.
in
I can
Japan-
promise you it didn't.
Japan.
So we're gonna have a like chicken wing eating contest or something with these two, and that will settle that.
How does it, I
You
don't
know I'll win.
understand.
Sumo
How does it
suits
make
then,
any
fine.
sense? God. Anyways, moving on.
Raven, if you didn't answer, red or blue? What was your first?
Blue.
Really, I'm the only
Yeah.
red.
3 versus 1. You're outnumbered.
See,
Did-
my thing is like Charizard was like that so oversalt Pokemon and everything, but I fucking loved Blastoise because he was
Blastoise.
water, and he put Charizard's flame out because he's a little bitch.
Dude,
All right,
at that time, at that age, I had no fucking clue that Charizard was that OP.
I want to make a quick statement,
I
real
picked
quick.
him because he was red.
Quick statement. Pokemon Red and Green released in Japan on February 27, 1996. Pokemon Blue shortly followed on October 10th, 1996.
1996. That's what I just said. They all three released in 1996.
You said the three of them released first. They did not.
Together.
It was two.
I literally said 1996.
Semantics.
Point.
You guys remember the thing where you could link your Game Boys up and then like trade your
Yes.
Pokemon,
The
and
link
then you could do
cable?
the
Oh, yeah,
glitch.
man.
You could do the
Yep.
glitch to duplicate your Pokemon. Well, I fucked it up one time on my Blastoise,
No.
Yeah.
Just gave somebody
And-
their
Oh my
your blast.
god.
and it gave me like
Childhood
I think
ruined.
I did it with like a fucking Pidgey or some shit.
So,
Never-
oh my god.
Never played again at that point. Fucking, I was like,
Fucked up.
I can't.
So
You
Pig,
done fucked up.
was your first Squirtle then?
Yeah.
Squirtle.
Yep. Absolutely.
The only reason I picked
fucking
Squirtle.
Bulbasaur.
Well, that explains a lot about you.
It's
Like
adorable.
the only reason I picked Squirtle was because my brother got red the same time I got blue, and he picked Charmander. So I was like, well, I want to kick his ass whenever we play against each other. So
Yeah.
gotta get the strong
See, I got
type.
Critical-
Charmander.
Those
and
critical
my
hits,
brother
man.
got blue. My
Yeah.
brother got blue. That's how they separated the games. We knew whose was whose and shit.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Same
I didn't
thing.
have that issue. I never had that issue because I had two sisters that were well enough older than me that they weren't into all the Pokemon and everything. But yeah, me and my friends, like we all had a different
Than they
copy.
were now, and still fucking loving Pokemon.
Did anyone else as a child look down on people with yellow?
Ew.
Because I
had yellow.
definitely
Ew.
did.
I had
I-
yellow.
I-
Go
I
on
had
with
yellow.
it.
Just 'cause I wanted Pikachu.
I had yellow,
Yeah.
but I wasn't a fan of it. I liked the originals better than I did yellow.
What I
Yellow
didn't like.
sucked because
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
first gym, you were always fucked when you went and fought Brock.
Yeah.
Brock
You're
was a
sitting
dick.
there- You couldn't get anything else
Yeah.
to actually fight the goddamn rock Pokemon.
I'm like,
And-
Brock is a dick. Pat's like,
And
yeah,
you never
yeah, he
know
is,
where
isn't
he's looking the whole entire time because his eyes are always shut.
Yeah. He's staring at your
Okay.
mom's ass, fucking Professor Oak and shit. Like, what the fuck?
he? Anyways, jumping back on the Sword and Shield
Shady
train.
motherfucker.
I got a couple things I wanted to bring up that recently came out. This came out a little while ago actually, but they are going to do region specific Pokemon. I think everybody kind of figured that was going to happen. The 4 that they showed were 4 dragon types from previous generations, no new dragon types. So if you got Sword, you got, I can't think of his name, but it was like Hydra something. He was a 3-headed dragon. And then I think Shield got Goombi and Lavatar.
Is
So
it like a bathroom?
yes, Goombi and Lavatar are bathroom. I'm sure there's going to be other region specific Pokemon, but with how like multiplayer savvy they're making this, I don't see there being an issue to where like, okay, say I'm getting Sword, I know you two are getting Shield, so if I get copies of the dragon types on my game, Kimono was the other one I think from the Alola region for Sword, but I can just trade them to you and then get the same dragon types you guys got. So really, I think region specific is something they just need to get away with. I mean, I get it in the earlier games because it was kind of a reason to like buy the other game in a sense. It's the same story, just different Pokemon. But when they came out with the link cable and the trade system, they kind of just okey doke themselves on that one. I'll go ahead, Austin. What's up?
I found the full list. So there's actually 6 different on each of them. Sword has Dino, Zweilous, Hydreigon, Jangmo-O, Hakamo, Como, and then Shield has Larvitar, Pupitar, Tyranitar, Gumi, Sligo, and Gudra.
Poop.
Pupitar. He goes well with the Levitard.
So,
Pupitar, dude.
Do they have
'Cause it's-
Chupacabra on there too?
what?
Chupacabra. Which actually, that's just the evolutionary
Yeah, that
forms
was-
of all of them
Well,
too. But I'm sure you could
that
probably
was-
catch like, yeah, I'm
Well-
sure you could probably catch like the evolutionary forms in it too.
So, whatever just happened to like Pikachu, Charmander, Squirtle, Pidgeot,
all
Ponyta,
news, my dude.
Vulpix,
You
It's all
can
news,
only
my
get
Jinx.
so creative.
Like,
Let's be real. Like, they made a Pokemon that was a fucking ice cream cone.
I know I saw
Yeah.
You could
that.
only get so creative.
Head
Don't
on a
you-
stick,
don't
man.
you talk
That's
about
what
my
I'm
boy
looking forward
Vanillix
to.
like that. You know what's funny
that was
though?
Brock's main.
You know what's funny is I saw it one time in the wild when I was playing like Black or White, and I was like, why would anybody want this fucking thing? Sure as shit, I ran into a trainer that had like a typing that I couldn't beat without ice typing, and I'm like, I'm gonna go back and get that goddamn ice cream cone. This game's gonna make me go back and get that double scoop son of a bitch. But
That
the
banana
one thing I want to
split.
say too is the open world with friends. I think that's something that everybody has wanted. It's if they go back from that, I would be very, very butthurt about it. Like if the next game they don't have that, having like the Dynamax raids where you can all meet up and it's just gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun seeing people actually, interacting with the world around you that are other trainers, because then it makes it feel like you're not just on a linear based, single player story. It gives some life to, the already like evolving world of Pokemon where now you have Pokemon that are walking around in the wild right in front of you that you can have encounters with. They had a couple new ways of traversing. I think they've pretty much killed the way of like the HM, cut surf, all that, which they needed to get rid of. It was wasting a move slot. None of them were even good moves. I think you get the bike now. They
Fly
showed
was-
gameplay of that. Fly was okay. Surf was like I think the strongest one on all of them
you
next to
talking about
strength.
in battle.
Yes, in battle.
Yeah, 'cause Fly was the best when you're just using it to actually move from city to city.
Oh yeah, and I was cool with some of it, but like in the Alola region now, they give you just like specific Pokemon that you can't really use, but like you called on a Charizard to fly you around. So it wasn't taking up an inventory slot, it wasn't taking up a Pokemon slot, move slot, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
There was a Pokemon they announced called Roly-Coly that
I want it.
I saw. He is a little tiny piece of coal with an eyeball and a little wheel. And the rumor around like everything coming out is that it's going to be a Pokemon train when it fully evolves. So that's kind of cool. I don't know. He looks pretty badass. I'm not going to lie.
What? See, like the
Here we go with the salt.
I'm on Google right now.
Might as well just have him
Roly-Coly.
turn into like a Duramax or a Cummins or something, rolling coal.
Roly-Coly.
that's my thing. Like Pokemon are supposed to be monsters, animals, creatures. What fucking universe has there ever been a fucking monster that's a goddamn train? I apologize for your ears if I'm blowing your
He's a
shit
little
out right
tiny
now.
piece of coal with the
Hey.
wheel.
So
There
a
was-
coal becomes a whole fucking train, is what you're telling me.
Well, yeah.
Make him a fucking diamond or something.
That's
Weren't
just
there
hard, isn't
asshole
it?
trains in Thomas the Train? Come on.
Yeah, but isn't
Thomas
Pokemon
was-
pocket monsters? How is a train of pocket
Can
monsters?
you
That's
not fit
what
a
I'm
piece of
saying.
coal inside of your pocket?
Yeah, but
So
you
you're
can't fit a train inside of your pocket.
Like
Have you
your
tried?
The
fucking
Pokeball in there.
your
Have you
fucking
tried?
Pokeballs are gonna
Jesus.
fucking. Actually, a lot of them wore their fucking Pokeballs on their belts. If you fucking seen that shit, like they fucking come out and fucking throw and they fucking open and
Wait, is
expand.
that what they did?
But a
Moving
fucking train! I'm gonna be stuck on this
Moving
train
on
shit for a
from-
while. God damn it, man!
God, I'm afraid to go through the rest of this list because I don't want him like having an aneurysm on screen.
Oh, I'm going to. Just
Childhood
bring on.
ruined.
They kind
Right?
of got rid of gym battles in a sense. Like you still have like the gym where you walk in and there's like a bunch of like puzzles that you got to go through and trainers. But once you get through that, you don't just walk up to the gym leader and fight them anymore. And they're not gym leaders; they're experts. So you have your ghost expert, your fighting expert, stuff like that. But you walk into like the big arena stadium section, and you just fight the expert. They showed a little bit more on the Dynamax, which is just making your Pokemon really big, but they also showed the Gigantamax, which changes the appearance and the size of your Pokemon. It showed one that was it was like a whipped cream Pokemon with like cherries and shit on it. And when
Yeah,
they
I saw that one too.
Gigantamaxed it, it turned into like a big birthday cake topper kind of Pokemon. So there's that.
Here's a
I
strawberry
literally
shortcake.
I'm still trying to find the Roly-Coly, but I literally just scrolled past and I see that fucking little ice cream sundae with the strawberry
Jesus.
right when you said it.
Dude, oh my god.
And I'm kind of curious to see with the Dynamax if like you're in a battle with an expert like the fighting expert, because it showed a little bit about her. If she goes Dynamax, I don't think you're gonna have to go Dynamax to battle as well. I'm sure you could probably just battle regularly and then go pick Dynamax, kind of like the Mega Evolutions. You can just throw it on whenever you want in the middle of a fight or not. The whole Dynamax thing looks kind of gimmicky to me. I'm still not 100% behind it. The Giant Max thing, they could have just made it more Mega Evolutions. I mean, Mega Evolutions weren't that terrible. I know when they first came out, people didn't really like them, but I've gotten used to them.
See,
me,
that's where like I'm so far behind on all that shit because I haven't really played a Pokemon game since Crystal, so like I'm so far behind. But yeah, no.
In a nutshell, Mega Evolution was you have a Charmander or a Charizard. He gets like an item that you can attach to him, and then you can activate it to where he'll evolve one more time in battle, but only in battle. Raises his stats up, makes him look a little bit different. That's pretty much it. Blastoise had one, Venusaur had one, like a handful of Pokemon had them. Lucario, Blaziken. I think all the Ruby Sapphire starters had them. Like the Sceptile, I think he was one too. And then there was like Scissor had them. It just makes them look different, gives them more stats. No national decks. They said there was not going to be a national dex in this, which a lot of people are kind of upset about. But the devs came out and said the reason they're not doing a national dex, and the difference between the national and the actual dex is national dex is every Pokemon ever. Just a big dex for all Pokemon. The reason they're not doing it is because it would be really hard to put Pokemon in the game on top of like all the multiplayer features and everything else they're adding, because the Switch, when you break it down to brass tacks, it's not as high tech as a lot of people might think it is. You can only put so much on it still. Oh, what else do I have? Oh, the models. This is where I'm kind of leery on the game. The models during battle look amazing. They're crystal clear. They're perfect. They look really good. But they said because of that, the overworld models, when you're just walking around, it doesn't look that sharp. It doesn't look that good. So they did sacrifice a little bit in certain areas.
I remember when we watched the E3 trailer, and when they were doing their playthrough, and we saw those, it kind of almost looked comic booky, where they have a big black outline. I'm okay with that because, like, me and Raven F are huge comic nerds anyway. So when they have that big black outline on it, it didn't bother me much. It kind of it makes sure you see the Pokemon when they're walking around and stuff, especially when there's gonna be Pokemon that are green in the fucking tall grass. Like you're gonna want to make sure that they're a little bit bolden and everything like that anyway. So I mean, it is gonna come down to actually seeing it first person and seeing how it looks. But that I don't know if it's gonna really bother me too much or not.
What's funny is the reason, or when you said that too, not to cut you off, Pat, sorry, but the guy that I was listening to about the whole graphic thing, like between battles and not, he even said too, it looks comic booky. So I mean, that was like dead on.
Well, it's more comic booky than Borderlands is.
I was gonna say.
I saw in the trailer.
Oof.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like 2 out of the 4 of us are. I don't know if Angry Pig is obsessed with Borderlands, but I know Bumpy and Neff are. So.
No, I never got really big into that Borderlands. Like I played like the second one for a little while, but I couldn't get into it. I think it was like the graphics, like the comic book graphics that got to me.
Pat's getting angry.
I like playing it a lot, but then Bumpy went and played it on his days off. It got too high a level for me.
I'll go back and redo it. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Well, at least the map in this one looks like it's a good size. They said it was roughly based on like the UK region.
Yeah. You know what? Going back to the roly-poly thing, because I want to irritate Pat even more. The reason why they put because of London and like the time frame or whatever, the reason they put roly-poly in and have like a trained Pokemon is because the main means of transportation around the region are going to be trains. So they wanted to keep it to that kind of London-ish, like old school kind of feel.
They should just put like a public train system or something.
I know.
Put like the little fucking trains at the malls that kids get in and ride around, and fucking adults got like their knees up to their chins. So you fucking make a God.
The little roly-poly they could. The last two things.
So you're gonna throw this roly-poly out onto a field, and it's gonna just drive like a car? It's gonna do what with railroad tracks? Nothing.
The first battle I have with Pat, I'm gonna have a full 6 stack of roly-polies in my inventory.
Jesus.
We're gonna run a train on that motherfucker.
Man, you're gonna hotbox them.
The last 2 things I have is I saw like a percentage scale, like a pie graph of like what Pokemon from what gens are going to be in this, and I think it was like going without saying really. Gen 1 had like 43% of the Pokemon that are going to be in this game, so it's going to be majority Gen 1, which I'm completely cool with. And the last thing I want to say is I want to go around. What are your guys's, and it could be from any generation, what are your like top 3? Like if you had to pick 3 to go to, Austin, we'll start with you. We'll go Pat and then Pig and then me.
Favorite or in battle?
Just favorite.
Favorite, I've always
battle 2, whatever.
Haunter, Bulbasaur, like those were the top 2. Like I saw Bulbasaur and I thought he was fucking adorable even as a fucking kid. And Haunter, I'm just like, okay. Like Gengar was cool and everything, but Haunter was the badass of the group. Let's be real. Fuck, dude. After that, I'd probably say Totodile. It was a little
I get down with Totodile.
He was a little alligator walking on 2 legs. Like that was badass.
His like his last evolution for alligator, brutal looking.
Oh hell yeah, he looked like a badass. But like Totodile, you're like, he's so adorable too and shit, and that's what I liked about it. Like they could be adorable, but then absolutely kick the living shit out of people. That's why I didn't always evolve my starters.
Blasphemy.
I didn't always evolve them.
Pat, what are your three?
With fucking little ones.
They're definitely not the little ones. Like to start out with,
Wonder why.
fucking I don't know. Yeah, I know, right? Like I kind of always changed up who I started with on every game. Like anytime I restarted, I would always change up. But like honestly, my three top are all from Gen 1, and that would be Blastoise, that would be Dragonite, and my third one, man, I kind of
Snorlax.
no.
I saw a
Fuck
picture of you. You were fucking Snorlaxing.
Yeah, I was.
Pidgeotto.
I was. No, although I did like Pidgeotto, I always ran him in one of my 6. Actually, believe it or not. But my third one, I really liked Machamp.
All right, thinking behind that.
I definitely like Machamp because I like to try to go with 3 different style Pokemon all the time, and I felt like that was a pretty good balance for how I played anyway. But they're my top 3. But I mean, yeah, I pretty much always had a Pidgeotto in my 6. I'd always have Alakazam. He would be another one that I could probably switch out with Dragonite. Alakazam, I could switch in and out with Dragonite quite frequently because it fit really well too. He was probably like my top 4. But yeah.
Pig, go ahead.
Yeah, mine were Blastoise, of course Charizard. So you got your Fire, Water, and then Scyther. I always love fucking Scyther.
I love Scyther too, man. He was one of my reserves, but just because I don't know, I felt like I couldn't do enough with him. But I absolutely love Scyther.
His speed is crazy.
I always use Kangaskhan more than Scyther.
Yeah.
Kangaskhan I had a lot in my like in the card games. I always had him in my decks and ready to go. Kangaskhan, Scyther, and Electabuzz in the card game, like in my decks. I had all 3 of them ready to go all the time.
And then any form of EV. Like if you have an EV, you can pretty much get whatever type you want out of it.
Yeah.
They were kind of saying that there wasn't going to be a new EV evolution this game.
Well, they've got
There's a lot of types that they don't have.
They've got 7 types for EV so far.
I would like to see a ghost or a dragon type EV come out of the works, but not so. If I had to go off of 3, I'd probably say Arcanine, Hitmontop, and Mimikyu.
Hitmontop.
Yep. Hitmontop, he was gold, silver, and then Mimikyu, for you guys who haven't played like the Alola region and like the newer games, it was a ghost type that wore like a Pikachu costume, so you never really saw like what he looked like. But the greatest thing about him was in battle, if you didn't get the first hit off and they hit you, you took no damage and your costume just slunk over and broke. So, oh yeah, there you go, Mimikyu. That's him.
Yep.
So,
what was the one that was always in the egg? The baby
Togepi.
one.
Togepi.
Yeah. There you go.
Yep. Togepi, who was complete trash in every aspect of that game.
Dude, there was a few that were just straight
garbage.
Yeah, they're bad.
Togepi was never meant to be good. He was just meant to be adorable little Pokemon
Yeah,
with Misty
cute and
everywhere.
adorable.
His evolution Togetic though is highly used in competitive. Between that and Chansey. Like Chansey's a big competitive Pokemon now.
Chansey was another one that I used to run top 3 all the time, and then I swapped her out with Alakazam and Machamp. Because it used to be like when I first really got big into it, it was always Blastoise, Dragonite, and Chansey, and then I started running Hitmonchan and Hitmonchamp instead of Chansey, and then I would swap out Dragonite and Alakazam. But yeah, Chansey was always my top 3 because I fought for hours and hours and hours trying to find a Chansey in some of the original games. Man.
Safari Zone, man, that's where it's at.
Yeah, and it could still take fucking forever.
I ran a Snorlax in my party pretty much every game though. I do like Snorlax.
What about Ditto, man? I love Ditto.
Ditto's terrible. It's a gimmick Pokemon.
He's another
if you're not breeding
eggs, Pokemon.
If you're not breeding for eggs and perfect IVs and EVs, you don't need a Ditto.
Aw.
You don't. He's trash. As far as the legendaries go for this one, I know a lot of people are kind of saying they look kind of plain Jane, but I don't mind them really. They kind of grew on me, and supposedly there's a third kind of like how they did. Oh, you know how in like Ruby and Sapphire you had Kyogre and Groudon, and then you had that third legendary that was Rayquaza. It kind of was like a gapped bridge.
No, I do not, because I didn't play it.
I did never
Well,
played that one.
on the box cover, you have your two main legendaries, which was Kyogre and Groudon. Well, then there was a third legendary that both games had the chance to get, which was Rayquaza. He was a big sky dragon, and it tied into the story and like how he kept both of them calm and blah 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 blah. Well, there's hints that there is going to be an electric fire type third legendary that the dogs in the trailer, when they go back to back, like something's coming after them, that's who they're defending themselves against. And there's a screenshot on the side of a mountain in the game that shows this big, like massive giant Pokemon that's shooting out an electric storm or like electricity or whatever. And then there's fire raining down from. So that's where they kind of got the hint that it was going to be a fire electric type.
That'd be dope.
I just gotta say, I'm surprised there was no love for Executor, however the fuck you pronounce his name.
Executor.
Executor.
The only thing that makes sense about that Pokemon is that eggs turn into a palm tree, and then that palm tree in the Alola region becomes a dragon type for some
dragon.
fucking
I
reason.
know.
Yeah.
Hey,
No sense.
I always got it just in case my my Pokemon got hungry. I could make an omelet.
Yeah, I made fun of my friends.
You
that
can't
would have
put me
them
in
in
this
their decks.
intense joke.
Boo, that's up there with that one.
I would make fun of my friends that had execute or executor. Fuck, I'm tripping up. Executor in their decks. Suicide over here is saying Ninetales as like her number one.
The
She was like,
Alola
who would-
Ninetales, that's ice
No,
now, is crazy good.
Yeah, she's just saying Ninetales. I know that was her favorite Pokemon of all time. I mean, I'm sure that's why she loves her dog, because her dog kind of resembles Ninetales a little bit, like in the color and the look and everything. But
She does.
Is
And
it
the
Ninetales,
breathing fire.
Naruto?
and then she says Arcanine, and who else?
That would have been my
Sorry,
fourth.
she's off camera. And Rapidash, right?
And the ice cream
Yeah, and
cone.
Rapidash. Yeah, so
I feel like that was a test for you to remember
It's a
that
test.
one. Like she was trying to make sure you remembered her favorite Pokemon.
One of my
like,
favorite Pokemon.
yeah, that
No,
was
she
a
was-
test.
she was bringing them up on the phone, and I was looking at it real quick. That's why I was looking off to the side. She was showing pictures. I'm amazed with myself that I remember Rapidash, quite honestly, because I never used Ponyta or Rapidash. Like I would get a Ponyta and I
you
would
used Execute.
fucking. I didn't use them. I fucking made fun of my friends. I never used Execute. I fucking hated that fucking thing, man.
I feel like you were a Jinx main.
I will
I-
say, I do use an Executor for my shiny hunts because he's got like the best embargo stat ever. But he does. That and
Alright.
Harvest.
Is there anything you guys want to close on when talk about Pokemon?
I really hope that like say Chad wanted to battle me and we go into it. Say I have like 3 Pokemon that I'm choosing that are level like 70, but all his are like level 55. I hope they give you the setting to where you can bring all Pokemon down that are fighting to level 50. They've done that in a couple of games. I hope they still do that. That way it makes battling kind of on the same playing field. I'd like to see you being able to put up items for stake. So if you lost, you would lose like, 5 mega potions or max
That
revives and stuff.
sick.
Betting.
That would
I'd even do it to where like, hey dude, let's have a battle. If I lose, I'll give you like, my Hitmonlee or something like that. Or if you lose, you give me your Chansey or something, an even
Yeah.
wager.
yeah, that'd be sweet, dude. That'd make things more intense.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping to see that they add like character customizations and like with how big the map is, like they have like shops and stalls where you can buy like other like outfits or parts for your character from that you can use like currency or some earning, or like
Mhm.
if you can create your own like gym or your a guild with like your buddies and you can train in that facility to like level up or like learn new like techniques, like stuff like that would be really neat to see.
Mhm.
As far as like biomes and like seasons, like seasonal events would be pretty cool to have in the game, like just during like winter time, like Christmas, like in like the bigger like city or like urban areas. It'd be really, really neat and really beautiful.
Well, they did that with Pokemon Go, so maybe that's something that they were kind of hinting at that with the seasonal events. Like, oh, it's winter here in the real world, so let's do where
You
more
see,
things and
you
stuff.
see, with
Mhm.
with doing a world with your friends and everything, I think that'll definitely be a better route and the easier thing to do because they can implement it. I would think they could implement it much easier going across the servers like that and everything, where people are playing together, everybody's on the same thing, even
Mhm.
different servers, whatever. But I feel like it'll be a lot easier than if they did it with any of their previous titles. So hopefully, if not this title, hopefully the next one, which they have no reason to do it or not to do it on this one.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, I would love to see different ones, for even if it's like regional locked across the world, so like they do different things, different areas, like everybody celebrates Halloween differently, Christmas differently, or whatever. Fuck, if you're in Canada, do a Canada Thanksgiving special. If you're here in the US, do our Thanksgiving, Christmas, whatever else there might be. Like have something that kind of plays into it, even if it doesn't flat out say like Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween. Just kind of have something that plays into it because they don't want to get bitched at and get a whole shit ton of hate mail from everybody because everybody's offended by everything anymore.
Yeah.
So they could find a way, I would hope, to kind of incorporate everything, even if it's not in year one, like maybe year two or year three that the game is out. Hopefully they'll have something implemented.
It'd
Yeah.
be kind of nice to see if, like, okay, during Halloween time, they got more ghost type Pokemon
Yes.
added to the
Yeah.
game that
Yep.
weren't originally in there, or like, okay, you don't see. I know Haunter and like Ghastly and Gengar are in the game, but you just see more of them throughout the world. Or with the whole customization chat or thing Chad was talking about, you get special event items like you can get a jack lantern head or something like that. You know, that'd be
I,
kind of neat.
I just don't want to be a 12-year-old kid. I
Yeah.
want a beard in the fucking game. Let me have a beard. Let me not be like Bumpy Rug and his chocolate milk mustache.
This is dirt. It's not talking about. It's dirt.
Another
See,
thing they showed, like in the trailer, like you have a house. It'd be cool to have like inventory slots where if you have extra inventory, you can sort in like a chest in your house, and maybe have some type of workshop where you can go out and like get certain like herbs to make like health pots and stuff like that. Just like minor little stuff, so you don't have to go and like buy or like do like a certain thing to get them.
yeah, and
Make
I mean
certain
that's
Pokeballs and stuff.
that's like going
Yeah.
into full on like RPG style.
Hmm.
And I don't like. I would love to see that. It should be an option, but I wonder if they'll actually do that because the game is directed so much more towards kids and
It,
younger.
it, it still is. It is an RPG though. It's a JRPG. Like
No,
they should
I
be. I would agree, maybe an option, but even if, say, like he did that where you can go and make those, but you still have the option to buy them.
oh yeah,
So like at least you have that way the kids don't have to try to fucking go and farm all this certain type of flower to make a potion or whatever.
Hmm.
That's left to us nerds to do that.
I am interested to see if they're going to do. I'm sure they're probably going to have a global trade system, but if they're going to do a Wonder Trade like they have in the games, and for those of you that don't know, what Wonder Trade is you can take a random Pokemon, anyone you have, you can catch a level 5 Pidgey, you put it into Wonder Trade, it sends it to a random person that's also on Wonder Trade, and their random Pokemon will come to you. I personally have gotten several shinies off of Wonder Trade just randomly, and it's usually people with like TTV in their name. They're trying to get their channel out there, so they'll just like throw a random shiny with TTV attached to it in their name, which is fine, dude. You want to give me your shiny, Arcanine that's level 100 with, all these crazy stats? I'll go check your Twitch channel out. I don't care. No shame. I'll sell out. But
TTV Bumpy Rug.
right, so I ain't giving away my shinies with TTV attached to my name. I don't care that much about you, but right, it's cool though. I like
wow.
Wonder Trade in the sense that like it's always something to do. You never know what you're gonna get. Yeah, sometimes you get like level 1 magic carps and stuff, but you can just turn around and put them back in the Wonder Trade and get something better. I've gotten so many starter Pokemon from doing Wonder Trade that I didn't have before.
Like, that's awesome. That would be sweet to
So
have. So next week we'll be back. We're recording this on Monday. I think it'll be downloaded tomorrow because I'm extremely tired right now. But I think we have a few ideas on what we're going to talk about next Monday for the podcast. Just make sure you do go check out Crimson Mask and the Off Tackle later this week. We are really working hard. We're really trying to make all this stuff go, and we really appreciate all the support that we've received. I think today we got another 4 or 5 likes on the Facebook page for Middle of Nowhere Entertainment. Go follow, go like Middle of Nowhere Entertainment on Facebook. Go subscribe on YouTube. It's a free subscription. You just get notified when we post these videos of us talking for an hour and a half. It's stuff that we like to do. We think we're entertaining. You might not think so. If you don't, go ahead and comment and tell us what we're doing wrong, and we'll try to change some shit.
Everything.
We are now at 325 likes, man. So just keep that in perspective, like I think about 3, maybe 4 weeks ago, we had just eclipsed like 100 likes. You know, like maybe about halfway into this, we hit a little over 100 likes. So within a couple more weeks, a few more weeks, not in a full month really, we've hit another 200 plus. Well, so I mean, I think it's absolutely awesome, absolutely phenomenal.
I actually talked about that on my stream tonight, that I wasn't expecting anything for like that, for this to take off to where we're at 300 likes and we're only on episode 8, because we started everything right at that same time, pretty much.
Yep.
Like I wasn't expecting this, and it's really outstanding. It's astounding to me that people have given us this much support.
Yeah, see, like I know we had all talked about it, and Bumpy and I were talking about it at work one day, like before we did our first episode, that I would have been thrilled to hit 50 views on all of our videos combined in like the first month. And we have far and away surpassed that. Our first episode got the most, I think we're sitting at about between 130 and 150 views, and then it's kind of been up and down since then. But it happens, you know, but the thing is, like, we far surpassed that 50 view goal that we had within a week. So, I mean, we can really only go up from here. You know, it's just a matter of time finding everything, getting everything going, and continuing to grow, promote everything else. So the more people that like, share, comment, everything else, the easier it is for us to grow and get out there, and it lets us know that people are watching and listening. But I've been looking at the analytics. We're still growing on Spotify, despite the fact that I haven't been able to upload the last couple episodes because the conversion that I was using is no longer operating properly for me, I guess. Maybe they changed some things up, but that's a whole lot of technical details I don't want to get into. But yeah, still, we're growing viewers, growing listeners, growing followers. So it's just awesome.
We're growing as people.
You stopped growing in the 5th grade.
Dang.
There's his one for
You're
the
doing
night.
so well. You're doing so well.
I tried
Almost.
to.
Well,
Well,
always like, oh my god, he's not going to do it one time.
you took my joke earlier. I was just gonna leave it at the chocolate mustache, and you're like, "No, this is dirt." So I decided to throw in a short joke.
He made it over an hour though. Okay, that was an hour and like 12
His
minutes.
face
and
is getting red.
55
He's
seconds.
No, that's a
Just-
sunburn. That's a
he
sunburn.
just can't hold it in.
But again, make sure you go and comment on these, and if you have anything you guys want to tell us, or share the videos, follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Give us some feedback if you guys think we could be doing some things better, because there might be something that you guys see that we don't. Like, we really do appreciate
More
any.
cowbell.
I will say.
buy a fucking cowbell.
I will say I don't know how many other people do, but I do usually tend to go back and rewatch the entire episode, or at least bits and pieces of it after we get done. Like as I'm falling asleep or whatever, I'll just kind of play it back and listen to it. But I'll watch like the entire thing spaced out over a few days, and I do know some things, but I'm waiting to see what other people have to say, because you know everybody else's opinion matters more for what they tell us to me. The people that are watching and listening to us. Their opinions to me matter more than what we all think we could each do better, because we're all together in it. Somebody from the outside looking in is going to have a less biased perspective. Just my
Nope,
thoughts.
perfect. Cut, print, put it on there.
I was really waiting for Bumpy to say, "Fuck you, I'm affiliate. You guys are all wrong."
Wow.
Careful, everybody. There's small timers around. Uh,
That's how I feel about your Xbox people.
oh,
Oh yeah,
Oh.
You're saying
roasted
things
and
like
toasted.
If you guys haven't yet, make sure you go sub to Bumpy Rug. He does do a great job streaming.
yay!
I watched like 10 minutes of it before my fucking connection cut out on fucking Wednesday night. Pain in the ass.
This is a small note. I'm actually 3 subs away from getting my next badge, and I'm gonna put something up on the Facebook, like 3 different varieties when I do hit that of badges, and just have the community vote on which one they want. I got one that I think is probably going to end up winning it. I won't spoil nothing, but it's dumb enough to where it's probably gonna win.
You're gonna fucking text this to me that right after this.
Dude, just the idea of it. I was thinking the other day. I'm like, this is gonna be bad.
That's awesome. I can't wait.
Angry Pig, do you have anything you want to plug? I think you do.
Well, I do have a 3D printing business that I'm starting off. Currently in the works, I have 2 printers right as of right now. If you have a STL file or anything you find online through like My Mini Factory or Yagi or any of the other huge popular 3D printing sites, you can send my way, and then I can print those out. Pricing's based on hour, so my houring pricing, I only do like $1 to $2, where like most people who are really big in it do like 3 or more, 3 to 5. It's all based on like materials and fill, and so hopefully soon, along with my Twitch channel, when I actually start streaming again, on downtime, maybe just when like my printers are going and my printer's up, I put my webcam on my printers and you can watch it like a time lapse scale as it goes, and actually get to see some of the stuff like being created like before your eyes. I think that'd be pretty neat.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Magic. It's mesmerizing to watch.
That does sound sweet. But yeah, make sure that you guys go follow Middle of Nowhere Entertainment again. Also, go follow. My name's OdinSpirit43. Go follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and Instagram, OdinSpirit43.
Go follow me, Raven F, on Twitch at Raven F, and Twitter and Instagram at RavenF0_O.
Follow me, but like on Twitch. Don't go follow me outside the world because you're gonna sneak up on me, scare me. I'm gonna pee myself. It's gonna be embarrassing for everybody. But twitch.tv/BumpyRug. Pig, as you were saying before, I so politely cut you off.
You can follow me on Twitch at AngryPigXX or Steam and YouTube.
We'll see you guys. We'll see you.
We'll see you guys September 20th at Area 51 for the fun run.
Yes.
Yes.
Everybody get your shirts.
They can't stop us all. They can't stop us all.
Yes, they
We'll
can.
see you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Vape Nation.
Bye bye. Vape Nation.